Now presenting
the RK Ultra Podcast,
Expanding Your Minds.
whether you want it or not.
Welcome to RK Ultra. We had a very great episode planned for you guys. We were going to cover Taldi and a rare species of Indian bee, and then tickle him with a feather duster to see the reaction. But, I mean, he got sick, so I guess we're going to have to shelve that one.
I was really looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, he's not going to escape it, though, so don't worry. Today, instead, we're going to be talking about aliens. We're going to be talking about what aliens might look like, EBs, extraterrestrial biological entities. You have any information on these extraterrestrial biological entities?
Well, my personal experience with these extraterrestrials are very limited. I thought I've seen a UFO in the sky, but, it could have been easily mistaken for something, like a satellite or something like that. So, I'm not too familiar. I know of a couple species of aliens that have been reported, though, like the Greys, the reptilians, things of that nature, but nothing personal,
No personal experiences?
No. Have you been personally encountered?
It's hard to remember. I black out a lot, and I miss time all the time. I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I'll get into it later if I can remember more. I'm pretty sure I've seen a gray or two,
A gray? Could you describe a gray to me?
Yeah, sure, anyone could. A gray alien is, usually short, usually gray, has little facial features. Sometimes they have noses, sometimes they don't. And it's, reported that there may be two subsets because sometimes there's, tall gray aliens. They're the most reported species of alien.
Okay, so they're the stereotypical alien that you'd see, like with the stickers and at Area 51 all over the place, all the blow-up dolls.
See, this actually came from the Betty and Barney Hill case. That was really the first abduction case back in the 60s or early 70s where these two elderly people were abducted by what they described as gray aliens or Zeta Reticulans because that's where they said they were from.
Okay, and yeah, didn't they come back with all ripped up clothes and sketchy memories of...
Yeah, it was a very, very strange case because these two people didn't seem like they would make something up like that, and a lot of them, they didn't really remember things until after hypnosis, so...
Hypnosis, eh?
Yeah. But ever since then, there's been a lot of abduction cases, and most of them come back. It's 75% of abduction cases in America, they describe some sort of gray alien, well as Europe is 50% and Australia is 50%.
What are these gray aliens doing with it? Why are they abducting us in mass? What is their goal here?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of their stories involve a lot of weird stuff. A lot of it's sexual in nature, shoving needles in places and
Probing.
Yeah. Not a probing. That's classic.
Okay, I have heard of stories of people coming back with little bits of metal in them. So maybe that's pretty interesting. Some tiny bits of evidence.
Yeah,
maybe
there's a lot of great documentaries on that too, where they got little pieces of metal in them, and the doctors are having hard times removing them, or they're emitting radio waves.
Is that from all the sexual?
Is
that the flack?
It's that alien sexual tension coming right out.
What are they doing to them?
Man.
I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either. Why would little gray aliens want to, experiment sexually unless they wanted, DNA, or maybe they're creating new life?
Okay, yeah, so they're just, they're milking us for our DNA. I get it. Okay, so it all makes sense now. You gotta, it's like jerking off the stud so that you can inseminate, the rest of the flock or the cattle. I get it.
Yeah.
It makes sense, Grays.
It's all very erotic, really, but...
Oh, okay, so...
Apparently.
So Grays, erotic. We also have the reptilians. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Bet you've never heard of a reptilian.
Yeah. What are the reptilians up to? Are they reported a lot?
Well, first I'm going to describe the reptilians. So the reptilians are tall, blood-drinking, shape-shifting, reptilian humanoids. They're from the Alpha Draconis system, and they hide in underground bases and are basically the force against, a worldwide conspiracy against humanity.
I see. So they're living here amongst us in bunkers, and they're basically running the show, or they're trying to take over.
They live below us. They can shapeshift. Basically, people believe that the world's most ancient and modern leaders are connected and related to these reptilians. Like the British royal family, the Bush family, etc.
Yeah. Who do you think is a reptilian? You think Mark Zuckerberg?
Absolutely. Mark Zuckerberg.
Definitely.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, could be. I think he's more of an android, but who knows? It's all speculation.
How do you know they're not hybrid reptilian android humans? It's a chimera.
Could be. Yeah, it could be a mix, You
never know. But reptilians have been popularized in modern culture by this guy named David Icke. It's basically just a conspiracy theory of a... I think they also consider them extra-dimensional. So, so basically, they travel through dimensions, and...
They're from the reptile dimension.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I saw this really interesting... this person conceptualized what a dragon, or not a dragon, a reptile would look like in a humanoid form, from dinosaur to a modernized human, and it was really freaky. It's got just a humanoid reptilian. There's something about it.
God, I'd love to see that.
Yeah. Well, you might be witnessing it in your day to day. You might not even know.
Yeah.
You might not know. They shapeshift. And one interesting tidbit is the comedian Louis C.K. He was joking around with one of the U.S. Secretary of Defense's, Donald Rumsfeld, and he asked him multiple times if him and Dick Cheney were lizard people. And the funny part is he never really denied it. So, Louis C.K. played into that, and he's like, so lizard people can't deny that they aren't lizard people, so there's plausible
deniability.
Yeah, so basically he's just like, you're a lizard person and you can't say that you're not a lizard person, and that's just part of being a lizard person. I get it.
Oh, that's perfect. I love the lizard people conspiracy theory. Before we had abductees, we had contactees, back in the 70s. People didn't report being abducted by aliens, they reported contacting them.
So you're saying the aliens got more brave over time? They just...
I guess. And it seems like the aliens in the 60s and 70s were just trying to psychically communicate to people and warn them about, nuclear bombs. There's a famous story of a guy who was visited by an alien and then taken to Venus and brought back and all that.
Oh,
Yeah, it wasn't until, the later 70s where people just started getting abducted and they all turned gray.
So did the aliens... was its name DMT?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
shot to Venus, and you were saying the 60s and the 70s. So come on,
no, definitely.
That sounds a little sketchy. They're trying to speak to me in my mind.
I can hear them. I took 6 tabs of LSD, but I can hear them.
I see that extra dimension, and it's real. The reptilians are there. Gotta love them.
How do you think aliens will try to contact us if they already haven't?
Well, I don't know. It's probably going to be some sort of radio frequency. They're probably going to communicate with us through mathematics, because that's basically the universal language to communicate. It applies to basically everything. It's the understanding of the universe, really, the code. What would they say? What would we talk about? Would we share our secrets?
I don't know.
What would they want to know from us? I know we'd want to know. They'd probably want to know everything, and we'd want to know everything back.
I don't know. I feel like they'd probably know almost everything already about us.
Yeah.
I don't know if... I would love to believe it would be a two-way communication, hey, but I think it'd be more like a... We're here. Hi. We're your overlords.
We've been having sex with your people.
Yeah. For 4 decades, our Greys have been abducting
Sorry
you
about that,
having
man.
sex.
We don't condone it. It's actually these are bad alien people, and you have bad humans, I'm sure. These are not good people.
The probes were a joke. They were funny for a while.
We're not sending our finest. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
This is not a good representation. I'm sorry, guys. We are the Greys.
The prison broke, and
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we keep it on the dark side of the moon. So I don't know why. But aliens are fun to talk about. I mean, it's like, if any alien race existed, it would probably be most likely the Greys, because they are the most commonly reported species.
And that pretty much sprung up organically. A lot of people try to say, no, it was movies, it was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, it was other old films like that popularized the conception of the Greys. But really, the Betty and Barney Hill case happened before any of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what inspired it.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I agree. I always love the Star Trek theory, about aliens, because in Star Trek they explain it the way why every alien kind of looks humanoid. Is because, well, you'd have to have, carbon-based life. You'd have to have a planet much like ours with oxygen and water much like ours, same distance from a sun to, spring life. So if it was carbon-based life that we met, it should anyway look like that, because that's how you survive in those types of conditions.
Oh, that's
It's an interesting theory anyway.
It makes sense, and that's a good way to write off why everybody's humanoid.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've had a good time here today talking about aliens. So what's your favorite type of alien? Have you seen one? What do you think it would look like if you did? Tell us in the comments below. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at RKUltracast.
Or find us at www.rkultra.com.
Oh, yeah, and on TikTok at RKUltra8. So follow us, because we'll be following you.